Squared Prospects and Rez, both teams that looked fantastic in their best of ones. Rez obviously having a much closer affair, whereas Squared, it was pretty much clean cut of them taking the victory.
Yeah, definitely outplaying CLG Red across the board, individually, teamwork as well. They were all firing on all cylinders. Bullet Girl as well, top fragging with the AWP and able to, change the outcome of a lot of those rounds. We saw 3 versus 4s or 2 versus 3s, opportunities where CLG Red had the advantage. And every single time, Jack, they fell short.
Yeah, and that's absolutely fantastic as well, especially for a player like Bullet Girl, representing Polish teams on Polish soil, obviously looking good in terms of form. She looked fantastic. She was just ripping heads off, great entries with the AWPs when necessary. But what was nice was the dynamic fact that we saw her and Zonic essentially just being able to clear out no matter where they were situated towards, and just focusing very heavy on teamwork, great communication across the board. The structure looked good in the team. That was the main point, as that 5, structure was there, communication was on the ball, and things were working for them.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at, their opponents now, Rez Gaming, obviously, the whole favourites for the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Obviously, former champions with Team Secret. They made a, roster change. They've removed Petra, added in Potter from America, and obviously, she had a few key rounds with the AWP, able to deny any chance of a B-rush coming in. She found frags through the smokes, gained a lot of information as well. This is a great thing to see from Potter. Not only was she finding frags the AWP towards B, but she went for the plat control often. There were rounds where she was just peeking blind, or sorry, poor term in this game, peeking dry in a sense, or just wide-facing towards platform, gaining so much information. It was able to really facilitate towards the A site, having, Juliana rotate towards window, close rotation towards the A site. Zaz as well, able to really deny any chance for A-takes coming out from their opponents, Rez Gaming. Sorry, their opponents, there's Ares Gaming now, obviously going to be going up against CLG Red in the next matchup. But I believe we are live with a pistol, Jack.
Yeah, seems like things are ready to get underway. So let's dive into it, Snods. Let's strap on our boots and get ready for this one. Once again, going to be over on Cobblestone.
Julies, okay. Going to be shifting the meta potentially. Going to be interesting to see where those Julies do find their engagements. But nevertheless, it will be a rush towards middle. Zaz as well, going to be charging in fast.
Well, you know what they say, Snods. 2 guns are better than 1.
You beat it, or 2 players are better than 1 as the rush comes towards mid and A long.
Well, damage is already going in the favour of Squared in a matter of seconds. Just ripping off heads left, right, and centre. It's just Zaz and Vilga left. So let's see if those dualies will actually come into effect. No, she's dead. But Vilga, she is on the B site. She slipped in. She needs to try and get this bomb plant down as well. Bullet Girl wants to deny that. She will be able to kill her, but just after the plant. So the additional cash will go in the bank accounts of Rez, allowing them to get that buyout just a bit sooner.
So, the bomb will be defused eventually, and there you have it, 1-0 now, coming out from Squared Prospect. And this is the thing that's so interesting to me, Jack, is the fact that they do not want to show any resistance. They want to show confidence. They go for the mid and a long rush, overthrow Rez Gaming. And that's something that maybe Rez Gaming aren't used to be seeing. When I was doing my research for this, one of the authors of, it was a statement that came out, right? And they said, one of the issues about Rez Gaming, when you play versus Red Gaming, is everybody suddenly stops playing their own game style. They don't play their actual game plan. They're so petrified of Rez Gaming. Obviously, the names on this roster, Zaz, Juliana, staples of the female scene. And right now, Hellrose trying to see if she can call a confident and strong start.
Start raising Hell, but instead it is going to be Vic, which has done loads upon them. Here comes Hellrose as well from the rear, tags them up, gets them nice and weak. The nade going to be lobbed in, but it will actually be Zonic to finish off Juliana. Vilga remaining, but she doesn't get anything cheeky out into this round. Does go down, so that is 2 now secured by Squared.
3 players surviving as well. So for Squared, they can drop over those 2 weapons to Vic and a Sonic as well. And it will be the buy coming out from Rez, thanks to the bomb plant we saw in the pistol round, which Bullet Girl was unable to deny. UMP for Hellrose, message this round. M4s, or rifles, should we say, for Vicky, Sonic, and Bullet Girl. Now for Rez Gaming, launching the up onto Potter. How is that going to be changing things in terms of the T side? We saw a lot of play towards the B side from Rez. A lot of rushes or early aggression towards the B side. Ares on their T side, they went towards A mostly. Interesting to see the different dynamics between these 2 teams, but obviously it was that 16-14 victory on Cobblestone. So maybe for Squared, if they watched that matchup versus Ares from Rez, they thought, okay, we see weaknesses here, here, here. We see these cracks and crevices that we can exploit, and we have a game plan coming into this one.
Slow and steady right now as they just hold. A minute left on the clock. In terms of utility, we do have 3 smokes over on that T side, 1 Molotov and a double flash available respectively. obviously just making their presence known around the map as well. Planting the seeds of doubt in the minds of Squared. You can see that actually forcing a slight rotate as well, with Hellrose now adjusting her position.
Bomb towards B platform. Zaz was lurking towards A, holding for any aggression towards the CT side of that map, but instead going to be rejoining the ranks towards B. Bomb situated towards platform. Vilka, the lone player towards drop as well. It is Annika. Lights up the B-bomb site too early.
Oh, that is just beautiful. So crisp with the AKs. They just wander in, take the firefights, and win round after round. Honestly, just looking beautiful there. Zonic, the last person left standing. She's not too healthy either. 13 HP is all she has to play with. She is behind them, but Zaz just hanging out. It's going to be an easy spam once she gets into her vision, takes her down, and Rez will actually pick up that round now. Good aggression towards the B site.
Yeah, no players dying as well, showing complete dominance there towards the B-bomb site. Obviously, Antika opening things up towards the B site. You saw as well from Squared, playing close range with these SMGs, obviously. No smoke towards platform, no counter grenades early on, able for Antika just to wide face towards platform, take those duels versus SMGs essentially, which were extremely favoured in the AK side. Easy frags found, opens up the site, obviously the flank coming in from drop from Vilka as well. Very easy to come in from behind for the remaining defense towards that B site from Squared. So, into round number 4, 2-1. And you can see as well, Squared having their money spread thin across the board. 5-7 there for Zonic. 2 M4s as well, 2 Famises to back up the rest of the buy. But if Rez win this one, they're going to be forcing out eco from the CT side so they can really gain the advantage early on. We know a team like Rez, especially on the T side Cobblestone Jack, once they have the advantage, they have the lead, they don't let go of it easy.
No, that's very true. They want to try and grab it and work with the advantage they can get. Zaz as well, actually given a bit of leeway to play with here as she slips into Matrix. Depending on how she plays this, could be a mass impact on this round. She has fire support as well. Zaz still just biding her time. You can see Zonic getting a little bit edgy, a little bit complacent how she wants to go for this, but no one's cleared it. If she actually does peek up and clear towards her left snods, this could be a huge read. Give her teammates the information and does damage. That's a double kill for Zonic.
5 versus 3, Bomb making its way up towards middle. Vicky caught in the crossfire towards middle. And as well, Elrose jumping out from balcony. Maybe a lack of good communication there to try and answer the push coming in towards mid from Rez. Antika as well towards middle, finds a rotation frag onto Zonic. The star player found those other 2 frags for the advantage. And now it's all down to the lone team. The first frag on to Giuliano. Vilga is low. Definitely a chance here with the kid as well.
All up towards Nessa here. She's going to try to slowly creep in, but obviously the audio is heard. Antika as well. She doesn't miss a trick. Give her an opportunity and she will just run away with it. So Rez, they find themselves that second round on the board, tying up the scoreline now at 2 apiece.
You can really see there, that's a strong example of how hard it is to retake that A-bomb. So when you're coming out through connector or through balcony, there's so many angles to clear. Towards the mid-ramp, towards A-long, towards wood, towards tree, towards the site itself, under balcony, the crossfires that you can have on your CT side. Squared maybe going for their best existence impression, going for the essential tactical timeout when you're on your pistols, seeing CT spawn in this case, discussing what your changes are going to be going into the next round. But it's going to go 3-2 here. Ancient to do some damage, but right now for Potter and Giuliano, the real goal here is to stack up as much cash onto those SMGs.
In terms of things, obviously you do have that 1 point to work with on Nessa. Potentially if she can find herself a bit of leeway in the line of sight to grab a shot and get something from it, but the rest of them just going to be restricted. Zonic actually does grab a headshot back towards Antika as well, but the weapon isn't really recoverable. Down as well. It's just a matter of time before they fall short. Lots of aggression though from Rez, really wanted to take the fight towards them and run the risks. They're being punished because of this.
Overstepping the mark essentially. They will still claim their 3rd round into this one, and maybe a MAC-10 or something to salvage, but then again, if you're Square, there's no reason to bring that one forward into round number 6. Vicky has enough cash. She will throw the MAC-10 over to Hellrose. Obviously allows for the IGL, the captain of the Square team, that being Hellrose, to afford more utility. Diffuse kit as well invested into by Zonic, so we are seeing a decent buy here from Squared. But right now, Rez are going to be testing not only their buy,
big spam from go there, going to get the first one towards Antika. If she's got the time to reload, she might be able to do some more damage as well. That's fire support. Hellrose goes down, and Vilka just going to jump on top of her head as well. And then Executor. Now remaining with just 40 players. Slowly encroaching on CT side control. Giuliano provides aid to her teammate, but it's just a little bit too late. It's just the two. Vic with the timing. Critical denies the bomb. Stop Giuliano as well, as we're in a close position now. 2v2, minute and 10 left on the clock. Utility between everyone on the server. We're in close range with the AWP, going to be able to find that shot on towards on it. She just needs one more to win the round. She's tagged up and spammed up. Zaz as well, just wide aim. He comes round. It was all on Zaz. Zaz doesn't miss.
Round number 7 then. A close one at that. 4-2 going forward. Fast rush towards the B side as well. Definitely a strong call to make. You know that the money is going to be low for the CT side. You can avoid the Molotovs, avoid the strong counter utility. Also, when you think about the retake towards the B bomb site, you saw a distinct lack of utility there to 8 squared in that scenario. You know, no Molotovs to flush out the peak platform. Instead, leaving them rather bare. This is going to be the push towards middle here in the eco round, as they walk into the crossfire and blender of Res Gaming towards the top of mid. Slow them all down. 5-2 into round number 8, I believe. And now for Giuliano, does she disregard the MP7? She might as well. $10,000 in the bank. Going to be investing into that AK. So we are seeing finally the strongest buy for both of these teams, right? Before it would be one UMP or a FAMAS hero there, maybe lacking the AWP for Bullet Girl. Now we see the fully fledged buy. Early smokes, the wall of smokes towards B. This is going to be a fast round towards the B site here, Jack. Could be a fake and a ruse at that.
Build up. She's going to be waiting, obviously biding her time, as she is the only player situated towards that B site. She needs to cause a ruckus and try and force them to focus towards her, but instead Bullet Girl just obliterates her with a quick flick from the AWP, takes her down. The rest of their team is sprinting up towards the A site as a in there. But Vic is just big. Double kill comes out. Hellrose provides as well. Marksmanship skills start to come into fruition, and they will pick up that round. Squared as well can actually grab that one completely flawless, so no rebuys have to come out.
It's very rare you see that round being played out, right? A lot of the times, Jackie, remember, NIP famously, or Threat should I say, to give this full credit to him, invented the smokes towards B that were thrown outside those mid doors by Dragonlord, right? Very effective because you are right outside mid. The problem is, if you go for those same B smokes from T-Sport, it's not the same because you have to run all the way towards outside drop towards Dragonlord. It's such a slow process that it's very easy for Square prospects to realize that it wasn't actually a full commitment towards the B-bomb, so the Molotovs delayed them for long enough. Early frags go in favor of Squared as well. 2 early kills for Zonic and Vicky, 1 kill apiece. Bullet Girl trying to make her way back in towards the site, but Antika finds another entry towards B. Able to trade that frag as well as Nessa decimates him towards B platform tree.
So that tree position can be so powerful as well, so Nessa making full use of it. She's just above everything that comes her way, being able to find the frags. It's all on Vilga as well. They take her down with Chris Brown coming out, but Vilga has other ideas in mind. Fires back, leaves Nessa in an early grave up there by the tree. We'll start to back off ever so slightly. There's 50 seconds left on the clock. She's got 30 HP and an AK to play with.
And right now, if you're Squared as well, you may as well just play passive in this scenario. You have 3 players alive right now. There's no reason to overface, give away another, rifle. Essentially, your money is going to be fairly affluent. Vilga goes for that eventually by Vicky. So no extra casualties there for Square, so they can have some extra cash in the bank. And you can see already it's starting to accumulate slowly as the snowball does increase in volume. $8,000 there for Hellrose, $8,600 there for Vicky as well. So the money is strong now for Squared going forward into round number 10. As the buy comes in for Rez, and this is going to be the last buy they have essentially. You see there for Antika on the left. $100 left is all she has left in the bank. Squared can maybe gain advantage in this matchup. If it goes 5-5 and they win this one, they're going to be forcing out the eco from Rez. And that's where they can get to that 6-5 advantage and try and finish the half strong.
Yeah. And on a good round, leave yourselves ready for that next half. But they push their way out, they can achieve Antika on the entry. Explosive with the AK. Bullet Girl, though, doesn't even need her primary weapon. Finds the first flick, switches out to the side on, puts Vilga down as well. She's ready for more, tries to take the fight against Potter. The Potter's just going to try and resituate and keep out of there. Bullet Girl, you can see getting a bit flustered now. She's really being aggressive from all angles. Luckily, she has teammates to aid her and make her life that tad bit easier. A minute still left on the clock. Giuliano and Zaz, the 2 big names, the 2 deadly damage dealers on that res side, Snods. all on them. Giuliano strikes first, and she strikes harder, takes down Bullet Girl, and tries to continue on her warpath. Zaz as well, going to aid her as they slip round the site, clearing their angles. They don't want to commit to a plan. They know they've got time before they have to. But here's Vicky, close and personal. Played by Rob, gets the first headshot. It's all on Giuliano now to win it out. It's a close angle, but Giuliano gets both. That's a ferocious 3K, and another round for Rez.
Clinical final headshot as well towards Electric there for Giuliano. Finds the first frag with the trade from her teammate Zaz, and obviously lines up the headshot towards Electric, and it's going to cause a pause for Squared. Thing is as well, I mean, that was their last buy. If they lose that round, if you're Rez, lose that one, and force out an eco, Squared could have fought back into this one, got themselves the advantage, maybe 6-5 up if they won versus the eco as well. Instead, they're the ones potentially facing the short end of the stick.
Yeah, it's true. And the crazy thing is as well, obviously, the fact that you've just got that Giuliano factor. You have that star power that can come to fruition when you need it to. And it was just a massive round towards the end there. Beautifully done, obviously, just incredibly crisp on that final shot. And actually puts them back now in towards the driving seat.
Pause, obviously, from Squared, which is something I definitely would have liked to seen from CLG Red. Obviously, the only time they paused, Jack was what? 14-6 down.
When it was already way too late.
Exactly, and as soon as they paused, you know, they won 3 rounds in a row, or 2 rounds in a row, obviously, something they couldn't manage to do earlier on in the half. But more into this one. Obviously, if we take the first matchup we saw on the B of Group B of the day, Rez versus Ares on Cobblestone, and we use that for comparison, it was Rez's extremely confident, strong T side where they got double digits, 10-5 at the first half. And the game concluded 16-14. So it goes to show that Rez rely heavily on these T sides. And when you think about how strong the terrorist side was from Squared versus CLG Red, it seems like for me, Jack, this is a battle of the T sides. Which team can gain, you know, 9 rounds on their terrorist side and try and claim their CT pistol? Because otherwise, it made us all come in favor of that terrorist side, well, victor essentially.
Yeah, it's true. This is the thing though as well. It's good overall for Rez because we did see a bit of a stunt in their T-side aggression when they lost confidence. So if they've actually been able to resurge themselves immediately off the back of that, and the star manner that it was done in as well, the big clutch round from Giuliano, that's going to get everyone reinvigorated, get them hyped up as well, and allow them to play that style of CS that they were just running away with earlier. So this T-side needs to be huge for them.
Long pause. And obviously long pauses usually allude to technical issues.
It's true.
It is very true. And now are we waiting for a tech issue? Or is it simply just an extremely long tactical pause from Hellrose? You never know. Obviously, if you chain your pauses back to back, maybe that is allowed. But even then, it's easily been, what, minute and a half? So we are waiting for confirmation as to what the issue actually is and see if it can be solved, and therefore conclude the rest of this third matchup.
Yeah, because obviously right now, 11 rounds into the game. It's been looking like a pretty close affair. Obviously, all these rounds have been contested quite highly. They've not been won easily by either side. It's still been coming down to clutch level plays. And we saw exactly the fact that, obviously, Rez as well. They get themselves into a mindset where once they have confidence, they start to run away with things. They can play a little bit looser, and they can just try and play for individual frags. Whereas the same could be said for Bullet Girl and go over on Squared. Once they get that confidence going from, we saw the org coming out, we saw flashy plays, we saw things that were quite flamboyant, and obviously they wanted to try and, you know, have fun with it.
Yeah, it's true, but obviously that was at what, 14-6 scoreline, the org stud coming out, or 30-6 around those lines. You know, before that, we saw a very disciplined T side from Squared. Slow defaults coming out from Hellrose. Strong 1 versus the 1-3-1 setups where they'll take mid control, get in towards CPL, gain control towards short, gain control towards connector, and then make their mid-round decision. And obviously the confidence came later on after they found all their success. And we are still waiting. Obviously the winner of this matchup does go straight into the playoffs, the bracket play, top 4 into the stage tomorrow.
That is true.
And obviously in this extremely stacked Group B, this is a you know, pivotal matchup for both of these teams. They want to get the job done now.
Well, this is the thing, right? Obviously, we go through this game, so we see who is going to be one of the next teams we actually have on the stage for tomorrow and potentially the following day. And then you've got to look at the fact that there's going to be that lower bracket game where it's going to be really tense. Quite, you know, in terms of things, we're actually going to lose one of the teams that we expected to see doing a whole lot better. This is where Aries start to actually get the momentum going as well. But Aries have a hard opponent no matter what. If we see Aries take their victory there,
oh, it's either
squared,
squared or res essentially.
You've still got to try and either have a rematch of what went down the first game that was close. If you did miss it, it was a 16-14. So it, you know, the whole 30 rounds definitely was brought down to it.
Yeah, I mean, that is the issue here. Obviously, we've only seen Cobblestone so far from Res, so the issue is how strong are they across the other maps. They are extremely used to being the favourites into any of these female tournaments, coming in as the #1 seed, invited to this event as well, expected to lift the trophy with ease and see no opposition. So, this might be quite a severe issue, as the pause has been on for a while now.
And we have no idea why.
And we have no idea why.
Been left in the dark, Snots.
We have been.
Do you enjoy your veggie burger?
Veggie burger was alright, actually, yeah. Was expecting a bit of meat.
Yeah, and then we
when
bit
it says
into
burger on the
Yeah,
menu,
yeah.
you know, you think it would classify it, say veggie burger.
So we bit into it, and it was just
cheese.
pure cheese.
It was just pure cheese.
But the thing is, it looked like chicken. So I was like, okay, maybe we just got a chicken burger. But I took that first bite, and it was a whole mouth of grilled cheese in a bun.
Yeah. I mean, what better fuel for your body?
It's true.
Breadcrumbs, cheese,
Just
and
a
bread.
thick layer of cheese.
Yeah.
That always gets me ready for a cast, to be honest with you.
What else you do as your pre-cast rituals? You got anything?
No, but I remember back, obviously, years ago, when I used to play, of course. Slightly more so than I do now. You know, everyone used to do have their little pre-game rituals. There's quite a few things that people used to do. I remember, do you know Crispian? You know Crispian.
Crispian, yeah.
He used to run around and then do push-ups before his match, obviously to get him pumped and get him ready for the action. What did you used to do, mate? What got you ready?
Do you know what? Every game I'd have a coffee and an apple at the same time. That was my little.
That's what got you pumped for the CS.
Gave me no
coffee
time.
and an
Gave me
apple.
no time.
I'm sorry, mate.
Now I look like an unprofessional.
Well, you know, deal with it, I guess.
Gosh.
You've been called out for that.
He's
one.
caught me off guard. And here,
I'm throwing you under the bus.
Throw me under the bus, literally. We'll leave that one there, right? It's a part of the decor now. It's a part of.
It's physically not long enough, so you know, movie magic.
Movie magic.
Essentially. But yeah.
What was the question? Pre-game rituals.
Oh,
right?
we're back.
Oh, we're back.
live.
Brilliant.
There we go. No more of that. No more cheeseburgers. No more pre-games. They've had their coffees. They've had their apples and a few push-ups. Let's get into it.
Well then, 4-6. Obviously, Squared being in the 2-round deficit so far, as we are 10 rounds played into the current though. Round number 11. It's going to be a fairly awkward bye at best from Squared. PT50 there onto Nessa. 3 rifles as well. They have the defuse kit. And the all-pointed bullet go. Let's see, up close and personal. The M4 towards the platform.
I think she isn't going to be victorious. And that one goes down as Nissa and also follows suit. Gets ended by Antika there as the double entry comes in. That is a furious 3K as well. Just leaving Zonic and Bullet Girl as the only remaining CTs alive. Over on that side for Squared. This is going to have to be a save as well. So Rez straight in with the aggression towards the B side. We know they can be so effective when they've gone for that. That was basically one of their staples of play in reality because they were just effective at getting those the entry frags. And it was Antika and Vilga that were essentially the 2 players that were switched out depending on spawns to just obliterate and find the entries.
Yeah, that's the issue there for Squared, obviously. Lacking the economy to have the Molotovs ready for, you know, the push towards B. Having the counter flashbangs required to hide behind statue, potentially hide behind the stairs of plat. Flash and then face with it. But it will be 7-4. Great flashbangs thrown there from Rez. We saw Nessa and Vicky unable to deny the assault towards the B bomb site. As the smokes rained in towards B, the wall of smokes again from Rez. So they have the 2 smokes set up, right? They either go for the wall of smokes, where they jump out, they can molly out Chicken Coop, and they can try and isolate maybe 1 or 2 players towards platform and take the side that way, and then play the afterplant with, you know, the great afterplant positions, right? Or they have the speedway push, then smoke electric, and they wrap around the site. And obviously, we might be seeing protocols come later into effect Instead, they're just going to be the Eco coming out from square towards the B-bomb site, leaving Bullet Girl and Sonic with the rifles that saved in the prior round to try and save again into round number 13.
Basically a rinse and repeat of exactly what we saw in the previous round. But this time, Potter just pistol whips and fools. So it made it a little bit more exciting. But that is going to be Rez grabbing another round as well. And this is the aggression we were talking about. Once they get themselves into that mindset of just charging in and just unloading upon their opposition, Snods, they run away with things. The confidence factor is huge for everyone on Rez.
Well, it will be Sonic and Bullet Girl saving. Now losing 3 rounds in a row, so they should be able to drop over some weapons as well to Nessa, Vicky, and Hellrose. That way they can get the best possible buy. Obviously, Bullet Girl already having the AWP, so she can drop over an M4. That way they can get the best dollar-for-dollar buy in terms of utility, fuse kits, M4s instead of FAMASs, which is a thing we've seen across this whole matchup so far. FAMASs left, right, and center, but it will be 4 M4s AWP there for Bullet Girl, 2 diffusers as well now from the CT side, and once once again, now no AWP for Potter, 5 AK buy, which probably means something fast
for the first, but Zaz will actually fire back against them to stop the warpath there. So already we fall into a 4v4 into round number 13. Rez playing it a little bit slower than we saw in the previous 2 rounds, where they went for their untapered aggression towards B and just decided to hit them hard and fast. This time, playing more methodical CS. Zaz as well with a smoke over towards the A site. Just trying to play their mind games with the opposition.
4 versus 4. There's still a minute 10 left on the clock here for Rez Gaming, so they can still slow the pace of the round down, carry out their default, and try and gain control of the map. Obviously, what counters that slow contact starter play? It is the EWP. Finds the first frag. The second frag now for square towards A long. And off the back of that cross play towards A, they're going to be rushing out towards B.
Every time she always finds success, she has the confidence to go for these bold plays, but she goes down, leaving it all on the woman, Giuliano. She has to go huge into the round. It's a 1v1 against Bullet Girl. She's got the AWP, the weapon that she's known to deal deadly blows with, but can she actually find the flick? Of course she can. Headshot as well. The overkill comes out, Snods, and Squared will finally get themselves back in action.
Perfect headshot there from Bullet Girl to secure round number 5 for Squared Prospect. Obviously, there's only one player surviving, Jack, so the money is going to be distributed eventually, but all that's going to be left is a UMP there for Hellrose. 3 M4s. They actually have a much better buy than I expected. Wow. So they can afford the strong buy. Obviously, now for Rez, what is there really in terms of the reset? There's only 2 more rounds to be played out, so you don't have that full effect of forcing out the ecos, gaining those extra essential 3 rounds for yourself, as it is so late into the first half.
Here we go. Bilga. The absolutely outrageous in terms of the entries. Wants to try and slow that as she flexes her muscle. Instead, it's Bullet Girl to fire back upon them. Lands the shots off with the AWP. The Polish powerhouse starting to go huge into the round. Potter goes down, and it falls to Giuliano and Zaz, but the backstab from Zaz, it was too much to handle. Rez, 9 rounds on the board now. Snods, the worst fact is, Squared picked up the win on that previous round. They're now reset into the last round of the first half here. This is not ideal.
Yeah, a full buy in this scenario would be ideal. But unfortunately, it's just going to be 2 5.7s, 1 deagle there for Bullet Girl, obviously, used to having the AWP in her hands. CZ for Hellrose and the UMP for Nessa. 1 defuse kit, so if it does go the long haul, the full stretch of the round, they have the defuse kit at least into those retakes towards one of these 2 sites. But so far for Rez, I mean, it hasn't really been too difficult so far. They have their fast set plays towards being at the work almost every single time. Drop control has been extremely effective so far for Bilga, and Tika with the entries towards the B-bomb site. Every single time they've gone towards A, essentially, what's happened, right? Vicky, Sonic as well, so strong towards the A side. So as soon as Rez start avoiding those players, it all goes in their favor.
Zonic actually fighting back against Giuliano. Will find the frag with a 5-7, but goes down to the trade frag from Zaz. They do have the advantage anyhow, though, Snods. Squared looking pretty good for the round if they can try and make this one work, especially when they just sprint through mid, giving that 5-7 the perfect potential to fire against them, but Vilga doubles it up and makes it manageable. A 2v2, Squared completely out-armed in terms of firepower now as well. The A site has been claimed. Losing Nessa isn't going to be too fantastic either. Bullet Girl's there. She has a Deagle. If she can transfer those filthy AWP skills we've been seeing coming out from her all day with the Deagle, it might be worth it. But she actually grabs an AWP instead. Fires off the first warning shot to make her presence known now as she ascends towards the bomb site. She's got 2 angles to clear. Zaz and Vilga on the site. But Vilga will take her down. And Rez, 10-5 at the half. Obviously a 5-round advantage for them there. It depends if they can really try and keep that up now on their CT half, Snods.
5-10, as you said before. Once again, the exact same storyline we saw versus Ares on Cobblestone for Rez. They get to double digits on their first half, and obviously versus Ares, they conceded the pistol on their CT side. They lost the first buy round. It came to that 10-10 scoreline, and we saw some shaky plays from Rez.
Yeah.
Obviously, maybe the pressure getting to them in their first matchup on LAN in a while. The rust was definitely showing. But now, obviously, they've had that one matchup. I believe we are ready to go live quicker than we thought.
Yeah, obviously, assume that tech issue would be being remedied, but it seems like everything is good to go. So we'll be continuing on with the matchup now, as it is a 5-10 scoreline. Squared, can they try and bring things back? Now they move over to their T side. Rez, obviously, T side. Zaz with the first frag, but Nessa with a trade back off her Glock, as she's going to deal some big blows. Hellrose as well comes through.
Ooh. They're going to be going back towards middle. Look where Vilga is.
Box him out, but a 1v2 with a pistol duel. She couldn't quite overwhelm them. Potter actually does find a final strike back on Nessa, though. So at least there's only a 2v3 into the round. They can rotate over towards B, but this is where Hellrose can be so critical. All she's got to do is be the catalyst into this round to deny the rotate over. Potter detects her. Potter will eliminate her as well. Support of Giuliano there as she finds the frag. Zonic just trying to get the early contact Snods, but she has to try and play more defensive now. But that is a beautiful shot from the Glock.
Crisp flick down to Potter. Turns this into a 2 versus 1. Giuliano. No Kevlar, just the kit to work with here. She makes her way in towards Statue, goes for the wide face towards Speedway and towards B platform. Gets spotted out as well. May even try stick this one. There's no real chance otherwise.
Giuliano being pushed from either side, trapped between a rock and a hard place. She will go down. Obviously, not much room for you to really try and clutch that one. It was going to be hard either way, so she will fall short. Meaning that Squared, they win a much-needed pistol round, really, here. It was either this, or essentially the game goes the way of Rez.
Yeah, I mean, if we had seen, a 13-5 scoreline at that point with the experience from Rez as well, and how good they can be in closing matchups, especially when they have confidence backing up their plays, all falling in favour of the international squad. Then again, now we have a we should have a competitive game on our hands. Pistols go 1-for-1 for both teams. And now as well as Squared keeps it worse the fourth line, put up by Rez Gaming. There's definitely a chance this game goes to full length.
Ooh, Bullet Girl as well with a headshot back towards Zaz there, so it only rides on Vilga now. She's a P250 and a fair bit of distance to cover with it. She is going to fire back on the trigger and see if she can end anyone's lives, but that isn't going to be the case just yet.
I imagine just going to try and save the Kevlar and P250 into the next round. Obviously, may as well run that gamble again, right? Save the Kevlar, you never know what can happen, especially as that's how they won their first matchup here in Katowice. It was the P250 with Kevlar from Zaz towards A-Long that found those 3 kills.
And that was filth.
Yeah, absolutely disgusting. So, 10-7. Okay, just wasted our time. And she will eventually go down, so nothing salvaged into this round. Should be the 8th round as well for Squared, and a round where they can have 4 or 5 staying alive, an extremely clean round versus these ecos, these pistols. They're not going to be upgraded fully to CZs, Deagles. Not going to be backed up by armor as well, which means they should just melt versus the rifles.
Yeah, this should be easy pickings for them, obviously. Clean and clinical in terms of things. There is going to be a stack that they're working their way towards as well. Potter and Poe boys are ready for this. No one is Potter just yet, so it's just a matter of time. Vic will find it. Takes their head down to the AK. She'll spray her way through her, leave her dead on the DECK. It's just Giuliano and Zaz now. It's the only two remaining players over on that res side. They are grouped up and ready to try and aid each other somehow, but obviously Zaz is P250. We know she can just be outrageous with a weapon. She loves to cheat stuff in parks, but won't do it this time. Instead, it'll be Giuliano's skills with the USP that actually pay dividends for them.
Giuliano now 4 HP. Obviously, one shot from the AKs will eventually take her down. And she managed to drop down to Sonic, finds another frag. The HE grenade will seal the deal and grant the 8th round now for Squared going forward into round number 19. First buy round here, Jack, of the second half. Res Gaming, they conceded this exact same round versus Ares. And obviously, we know how that one concluded. It basically was on the cusp of going to overtime. 10-8 now. And it will be, look at these, I was going to say UMPs. It's only one UMP, so it's not anywhere near as bad as it was before. One UMP there for Antika, which means she's probably playing towards drop. And yes, she is. Obviously, there's a lot of, well, it's very popular to see the drop player take a hit in terms of firepower, deduct himself down to the UMP. That way they can afford the Molotov at the start of the round towards drop, the smoke towards electric or towards window if a split's trying to happen towards one of the sites, and also have those flashbangs to flash in towards drop, just like we see there.
Bit of a slow one so far into this, obviously. A minute 15 left on the clock. The T's not going to be overextending, still staying fairly grouped as they want to reposition and essentially what appears to be a late round take towards this B site. They've got tons of utilities, so you can zone out the CTs, play effectively, and actually get yourself into an advantageous position. Potter, she's normally very effective at warding off these pushes, Snons, but is it going to work out well this time? Doesn't get a read just yet. Finally realizes what's going on, but the drop count control has been taken. Antika needs to be on the ball here.
Oh, flash is perfect. Nessa finds the first frag. Vilga will find one, actually finds a second as well. Denies the split towards B, but Bullet Girl has something to say.
Yeah. She's just going to rip her way through Vilga. Nessa as well. Sideswiped by Vilga, but Vilga, she realizes on either side, but she's still finding these headshots. It doesn't matter, she's just sprinting around, taking them down. And it's all on Vic, playing from the site, trying to play around the smoke. If she realizes the location of Vilga, she can turn it into a 1v1 and then just try and isolate Zaz. But Vilga backs off, stays alive. What's out? Zaz finds the headshot. Vilga is so low as well. She's got to deny the 5 here, or this will be the ace for Vilga. Stops it and picks up the round.
1 versus 2. That shot towards platform as well will grant the 9th round. And it's going to be the weak buy once again from Res Gaming now. So this is deja vu to exactly what we saw versus Ares earlier on. 9-10 scoreline. High chance we see a 10-10 scoreline now, as it is going to be pistols for Res Gaming. Eagle there for Vilga. CZs, P250, USP for Potter obviously wants to have the offer to the next buy round. But they do have a key onto Vilga in case things do get a bit hairy.
Right now, and she wants to try and find these frags off the back of the map. She'll find the headshot. Sonic comes in as well. Christmas head with the AK as she'll just line them up and knock them down. It's all on Antika and Potter here. The CZ actually causes a bit of a commotion, but she will grab a free AK if she can save that. Not all is lost in this round. Things will be tied up at 10-10 apiece though.
10-10 as you said, Jack, and obviously the money is going to be equal, to say the least. It might be a 10-10 scoreline, but the fact that we see the resurgence here from Squared on their T-side of Cobblestone, they've won 5 rounds in a row now. Clean rounds as well. Obviously, you had the 1 versus 2 from Vicky, I believe it was, in the last round, but apart from that, things have been extremely favourable towards Squared prospects. So the money is going to be in favour of the side, which means they can take risks. Even if they lose a buy round, they can instantly buy back, and then suddenly there's a chance for the reset against Res. They can force out, you know, ecos and whatnot if they can, shatter the CT economy as the full buy does come through. And interesting as well from Res, they don't invest into CZ Kevlar to the last round, and now look at their buy here, Jack. 4 Molotovs, 3 kits, a complete arsenal in terms of weaponry utility across the board. But let's see if it's going to be enough to deny the split and the rush.
Potter, she looked unready there. She wasn't quite prepared for what was coming her way, and she will fall short. The fire Got to dismantle the just able to end her life. Vilga attack. Main CTs. Nice actual tag from Vilga there through the smoke towards Hellrose. Is able to capitalize off the back of that. She's all that remains. So close, but not quite able to keep it going. Zonic with a nice double kill into the round. And Squared, they take the lead now.
This is what I was talking about, Jack. The money is nowhere near equal in terms of how many buys we can see coming out from Rez. They lose one round, and now their economy cannot facilitate such a strong buy. I mean, shotgun there for Antika, MP9 for Potter. We've seen how much she struggles when she hasn't got the AWP towards B. Every single time she had the M4 or any other weapon apart from the AWP. And this B site has been so susceptible to the rushes.
Well, Antika though, seems that she's going to be switch things up in how she actually defends towards drop. She's actually done the auto shotty. So, could be cheeky.
Could be cheeky indeed. Obviously, as long as they smoke out towards window, molly under drop and whatnot, it can be potentially difficult to have an effect with the shotgun towards drop. But who knows? I mean, what happens if someone flashes her in there? It could obviously be quite the highlight. It will be mid-control coming out from Squared. Similar scenario to what we saw in Mirage. Slow, methodical, thought-out counter-strike on their T sides, leaving no stone unturned. The new issue here, Jack, is they showed bare minimal presence towards the B platform, and you can see the extra players rotating in. And having extra players here, Jack, means nothing at this point. 2 early frags found, and it's all down to Vilga.
Oh, that is just lunacy. Vilga as well, though. She's playing it so clever here, Snods. The trigger discipline
Surely
is fantastic.
not.
She could go so huge into this round. Deny the plant as they try and turn on her. She'll get one. She needs to reposition as well as the push comes towards her. She's going to get tagged up, but nearly eliminates Nessa. Goes back for more. Vilga might have just thrown a spanner in the works to be the saving grace for Rez in this round. Zonic, the last remaining woman on the side of Prospect. She needs to go huge for the Squared side and try and bring them back into this. Tiptoes her way up stealthily towards that site. Has to grab the bomb and arm it. She won't be able to. Vilga, that's a huge hat-trick. So much trigger discipline there. Doesn't overreact. Doesn't over-face when she needs to. Just played it calm and steady. Very, very well played from her there. Those 20 frags, she's got those for a reason.
Yeah, you can see the experience and the composure and how calm she was in that scenario. Lets the first player go, lets the second, third player go, denies the bomb plant. And you saw how far away Squared were from the bomb.
Yeah.
1 player towards Hobbit, 3 players towards the mid ramp, and 1 player towards default site, planted the bomb. As soon as she denies the bomb plant, Jack, those players have to cross balcony, have to cross connector, have to cross, obviously, Vilga towards a long. And it throws a massive span in the works from that round out of Squared. 11 to 11 as we go all tied up. And now, things get competitive.
Yeah. Obviously that pause coming into effect as well to try and work out what they need to do now. This has been such a close affair. This is also a repeat, essentially, of what we saw when it was Rez versus Ares. Both teams were able to get an opening pistol round on their side, and it allowed them to actually make it more of a competitive game because it was close both times. We've seen how effective Rez's T side is, but it seems like their CT side still has small cracks. There's areas that you can capitalize on, and because of this very slow style of CS that Squared play, where it is methodical, it is thought out, you'll slowly encroach, attempt to take map control, work together, clear angles as a unit, it's favoring them. They're being able to force out these plays from Rez and actually winning these rounds.
Yeah, but how much of the issue can you really solve at this point when you're in the server already? Potter, 7 frags. You can see she was playing towards B, giving up B platform control time and time again. Giuliano with the AWP goes towards B instead. Potter usually being the primary AWP and in-game leader and the new addition for this team.
Yeah.
So she's struggling. It could be red flags being raised for Rez on their CT side. We saw weakness in the first matchup of the day where we thought it was just rust from Rez Gaming. Obviously, there are events here that are spaced out. It could be a while before they got settled in towards Lamb, but it seems like it's a reoccurring event.
Well, this could be the issue as well, obviously, as you touched on there with Potter. We know she can be such a defiant force, but she isn't able to stop anymore. Now Giuliano will things be different. A bit of a firefight there as well, but Antika definitely comes out on top. It's a massive bit of damage on the hands of them. Giuliano as well heard the pitter-patter of footsteps as Nessa tried to sprint her way up to catch her off guard, peeks out and takes her down, and it's just left on this duo. They can be quite dynamic though. They've definitely got a lot of firepower between them both, but the fact is, Zonic's only on 2 HP. Bullet Girl as well doesn't have any utility to work with. Zonic has her pockets absolutely full of every type of nade she'd need, though.
Bullet Girl finds one towards the B-bomb side. The wallbang coming in, actually. Will find the frag onto Zonic, leaving just Bullet Girl alone. 1 versus 3. Expects a player close by. No noise as she falls down from the window. And so there will be another round here secured for Res Game. 12 to 11. Vilga saved them. When you thought as well their money was on the cusp of being reset, it could have been a 12 to 10 in favor of Squared. We know how strong they are on the T side. This could have been the upset win essentially for Squared going forward and book their ticket into the top 4 bracket play on the stage. But Vilga might have just saved the day here for Res Gaming and given them the lifeline they needed. But let's see. 11 to 12. There's the AWP now in the hands of Potter. Giuliano's done her job because he can add that one back.
Potter as well, and she's going to be playing over towards the A side, just holding the AWP towards mid. So if we do see a push come towards mid, she's going to be poised for this. It isn't as aggressive as she's been playing it over towards that B site, so it might actually be the change of pace that was necessary.
Contact play towards A long from Rez. Giuliano is playing towards the B site this time as well. Usually it was Potter towards B, Giuliano towards A, but obviously within recent events has changed, and what more will change if this round goes in favour of Squared and a second entry is found towards the B site, make it a hat-trick as well. Potter and Zaz alone towards A, maybe even forced to save it.
Yeah, I mean, Nesta's come into her own there fantastically. You get the initial headshot, beautifully done, obviously. Work through to get the follow-up frag on the site. You just leave Zaz and Potter remaining. They can't run the risk of going for this round. There is no point in doing so. And also, they've just got way too much cash invested into all of their buy. They need to save this into the next round, meaning we're going to equalize that scoreline once again, as Squared will be picking this one up with a nice take towards that B site.
It's going to go 12 to 12. If we could see the money as well, how much cash has Res Gaming got left in the bank? Can we see the money? Is that okay? Could we see the cash? Technologist isn't there yet, Jack.
It's just not, you know.
Hey, there we go. So, oh gosh, that isn't a pretty sight. $6,000 for Giuliano, so they can't afford an AWP towards the B-bomb site. But apart from that, $2,000 across the board. The resets come in, usually a force. Then again, I mean, you have a few players that if you save this round, they could have maybe 3 M4s and an AWP into the next round. But then again, it'll be AWP, Kevlar, smoke, right? They'll have no Molotovs, maybe even 1 kit, lack of flashbangs, and counter grenades to deny any rushes or set plays from Squared. And it will be the force, actually, from Res Gaming. Giuliano dropping the AWP over to Potter. So now we're going to be seeing AK there for Zaz, Giuliano with the M4, Potter wielding the AWP, Vilga with nothing, which is a bit surprising. Then again, if she just follows Potter around, if they lose the AWP, they can, you know, play past the parcel. Have you seen Enemy at the Gates?
No.
The Russians have to swap AKs when their duo partner dies.
That is a common strategy.
That is a common strategy.
It used to be a Russian strat back in Source where people would buy 1 AK, you go in a 5-man push, and you just drop it between each other every time you died. It's an old strat, mate. And they've gone for the around the world snots. Tour de Cobble, again.
Here we go. Antika with such a 4 position. Has only the season in this scenario, not the AK. Finds 1 frag, Dink as well onto Nessa. But apart from that, she's unable to halt the push that comes through. Potter missing another valuable shot. Opens up the B side for free.
That's a bad miss from Potter there. She needed to land that one to essentially deny the push. That is her role when it comes to these aggressive takes towards the B site. Zaz, armed with a sister in arms here in Giuliano. They need to be able to try and slip out together and actually find success. Both of them have kits, but they have no utility to make their lives easier. And Zonic is just waiting, praying they're going to peek towards her and give her the opportunity to spray down. Bullet Girl as well comes into effect, and they take the lead.
We knew there were going to be upsets coming into this event, Jack. But we wouldn't have expected their upsets to be versus Res Gaming. Former Team Secret, former champions of this event, former champions of the last Copenhagen Games, the last Intel Challenge, you name it. Right now, Vilga, Giuliano, 20 frags. Potter struggling at the moment. Even now she had the AWP towards Statue, misses the crucial frag to deny the assault towards the B site. what do you do right now if you are Res Gaming? You force into the last round, you maybe conceded 14-12. And at that point, if you're going to be using their CT half from earlier, and in the current present time, I wouldn't be putting my money on Res in this situation.
No, and the thing is as well, this is actually, you know, essentially a repeat of what we saw over on Mirage in terms of the teamwork between the players over on that squared prospect side. It looks fantastic in the entries. You can see support there from Zonic and Bullet Girl. And now the fact is as well, Nessa's actually coming to her own and actually started dealing damage with the AK.
Round number 26. There will be the quasi-buy coming out from Res Gaming. This is going to be 3 sets of Kevlar there for Giuliano, Zaz, and Vilga. And actually Vilga going to be wielding all of the utility for Res, that only being a smoke and a flash and an HE grenade. So the buy is poor. So it should be the 14th round here for Squared. And obviously expecting the pistols, expecting the quasi-buy, playing so tentative. Scared as well from the stack towards the A site, especially towards Matrix as well, as they're going to be clearing out the angles systematically. Trying to be risk averse here, Jack. They cannot take the risk and give 13-13 to Res Gaming, because once they have, you know, the foothold in the second half, it's a very hard team to try and, you know, steal the momentum away from.
But this is the fact, this is what I was talking about, Snods, is just the confidence factor between either of these teams is incredibly consistent. Once they get themselves into a good position, they start to feel it and get the wind under their wings, that is when they will just run away with these rounds. And this is what's happened now. Squared have actually started to get enough coal in the engine, it's burning, and they're looking good, Snods. Now then, into this round, 30 seconds left on the clock as the push will come out. This is where Zaz needs to go huge, but it's unlike her. She falls short, she wasn't able to find the damage. Giuliano as well, obliterated. It's all on Vilga and Co to try and bring this back. She might have an AK, but can she slay? Zika and Co firing through, it's all on her. She's just got a CZ to play with. Nearly a 360 comes out for Zonic. It's on Bullet Girl and Vic as well. They've secured site control, they've slipped over. The nades are coming back through, they know her location. Essentially, it's just a matter of time. 7 HP is all she has to play with here. Snods, the peak will come out from Vic. Another round goes the way of Squared. They are so close to finding success here. And bear in mind as well, if they find the win, both of their best of ones will have been a success for them in their group. And that means they're projected instantly into that semi-final tomorrow.
Gosh, that would mean as well, one of CLG Red, Res, might not be making it through Group B. And obviously Ares as well, sorry, the former, you know, second finalists, you should say, at Copenhagen Games, expected to be the second team out of this event. And what happens if they play Res in the next matchup? One of the favourites taken out of the group stage.
Nicely done with Potter there, a little bit better from what we've seen, but she overfaces, goes for a second peek, wants to try and do more. Just goes down, she had no backup. Giuliano as well suffers the same fate against Bullet Girl's orb. Nessa will be removed from the equation though, as their heads popped cleanly off by Vilga. She's trying to assault them, but these teams are just looking so ready for this. Sonic as well drives into action, finds a lovely kill, leaves it all in the hands of Antika. A minute left on the clock. Bullet Girl and Vic working together. She's got a heightened angle. She just needs to try and find a position to take the strike. As they just wait now. Time is in their favor, and the round's in their hands.
Great post-plant positions here from Squared as well. The bomb planted towards Speedway and Platt. Bullet Girl holding towards the left. Vicky had the right. And of course, Bullet Girl delivers once again. 24 frags for Vicky. 22 frags there for Bullet Girl. Continuing her performance on Mirage versus CLG Red. And right now, everyone in Group B is going to be feeling rather unsettled.
Yeah, I mean, this is ridiculous. It's just looking flawless from them now. They've got themselves back into a fantastic position. 15-12. It has to be completely perfect from Reds. They have no room for mistakes. They have no room for error. And look at the buy, Snods. You can even really call it that. The investment that's actually come out, an MP9, a FAMAS, a UMP, 2 CZs. Sure, they've got armor. They don't really have much utility either. 2 smokes is all they have to play with.
If there is a team, though, that can pull off the magical comeback and bring this one back to OT, it is definitely Res Gaming in this tournament. They have the individual prowess, potentially. But when you factor in how good the team play, the afterplants have been from Squared, simply put, in this equation, They're coming out on the high here. Potter pushing through the smoke towards the platform, concedes the first frag. Vulga from behind has a FAMAS to try and battle out the AK from Nessa potentially. Smoke comes up. Vulga, Juliana getting close towards the smoke. Maybe the one way as well, and if it is, what effect is it even going to find? Potter giving away the first frag and now a massive advantage for Squared and a high chance this could be the upset we're waiting for.
If you were going to pick up that round, essentially you needed to try and get the early advantage, and the play she's gone for there is just maybe a little bit to go down there as a response as well. Antika's down and out, which means that B site is so weak. It's going to be hanging on a thread. Juliano essentially trying to hold down the CZ, but luckily Zaz was on the rotate, and she's read them well. Zaz as well going huge! She starts to tear him down. There was some pizzazz in that one, and it's all come down to Nessa versus Vilga here. Surely not! Barely stays alive, but Nessa does it, fights her way through, shuts it down, a 16-12 scoreline. As Rez, they're going to be knocked down at that lower bracket.
14 HP for Nessa in that 1 versus 1 versus Vilga. For a second, I thought Zaz has bailed them out again. I mean, 15-14 versus Aries. Zaz with a massive 3K of the P250 in the first matchup they played. There, you know, for a second, 2 running headshots with the UMP. Dink as well down, 20 seconds left, the bomb was dropped. Maybe that was enough to seal the deal, but unfortunately for Rez Gaming and for everyone else in Group B, things are going to get a bit dicey.
Oh, yeah. Especially, that's the thing. I mean, fantastic play through and through there from Squared. They've done amazingly. They definitely deserve that spot in the semi-finals, and they've proven that. The quality of play they had was great. Everyone stepped up to the mark. But more so, interestingly enough, the upset potential this alludes to is the fact that now we will not see Aries and Rez. This means one of those two teams has to go home.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's mad as well, imagine how Hell Rose feels right now. 2 of her teams leave to join Petra. Obviously, Petra, now Singularity, don't make it out of Group A, the easier group as well. Hellrose reforms the lineup around Bullet Girl, and right now, Bullet Girl's looking probably like the best player we've seen all day.
Oh, exactly. And that's the thing. On Polish soil, she's flying her flag high. She's looking fantastic, dealing damage. She's been crisp with the AWP. She looks fantastic with a rifle. And the communication between her and Zonic looks great. Those two as a unit have just been unstoppable in terms of entry frags.
Yeah, I mean, what's that now? Squared can be joining Keyd Stars, female. Also going to be joining Dinatar's female out of the groups. And now, obviously, we have to wait to see who that final team out of the groups is.
Yeah, that is very true. Obviously, our next matchup is going to be Aries going up against CLG Red. Can CLG try and bring things back? Because it looked like things were going a little bit weird for them. They need to try and reset, sort it out, get their heads together, and really step up the marks, Nods.
They do. I mean, if we see a repeat performance from CLG Red where, you know, a lack of pauses, when things went wrong, it felt like there was no, you know, no one there to make the pause, try and solve the issues. How could they recalibrate themselves on the CT side? It was so poor. They had a 9-6 half, but they were down, you know, what was it, 8-2 early on. The T side from Squared was so strong. Yeah. The defaults were just overpowering, you know, individually, team play, post plants, everything in terms of textbook Counter-Strike was read by Hellrose.
Right. Well, there is more to come. CLG Red obviously facing off against Aries. That will be our next matchup. Can CLG start to get back into a world of their own, or is Aries going to be ascending through to face off against Rez? Find out in the next matchup.